All right, so welcome back. Today we're going to talk about something that I have put on the back burner for quite some time, and it's going to be mostly because I just really just did not want to talk about it. I wanted to be as far away from this mess as possible, and I think it's about time that I finally just give a quick little glimpse of what I feel about this situation. And of course, I waited a while because everybody jumped and piled on immediately just to get the views or the clicks or the clout or whatnot. And I feel that, yes, I'm doing a video right now. I want you guys to hear what I have to say, but I don't give it if you watch the video or not, or like it or share. I don't care. This is just something to let you know and double down on my stance on this situation, because unfortunately, people were hurt in this situation, businesses were hurt, and people were duped out of their money. And yes, it's none other than Anthony Ferrer, aka the Timepiece Gentleman.
This message is meant for my clients that are directly involved. It's for the dealers that are involved. It's for, my friends that are going to be affected, my former employees, people in the watch industry that are going to be directly affected by my actions. I know my words don't mean anything right now, but I really am genuinely sorry. I've battled with demons, and I've let stuff get the best of me, and I've made a lot of bad decisions. I've made a lot of dumb mistakes. I even lied in that message about a robbery, hoping to cover it up even more while I try to fix it. And, it's gotten to where just living this fake lifestyle, this look at me, I'm smart, I'm successful, keeping up the appearances, it's eating me alive. I drink every night just to be able to go to sleep. I've lied to my employees, I've lied to my clients, I've lied to my friends, I've lied to my peers. I'll admit it, I got a little taste of success and never wanted to forget that feeling. I got accustomed to this lifestyle, and getting that type of attention, it ruined me. I built a hell of a business when I was sober, and I made some little mistakes when I was in Dallas, and part of my past came back to haunt me. Spending people's money, living above my means, living this flex lifestyle, all that stuff was wrong. I've been digging myself this hole, and it's a $5 million hole. Yes, it's true. I'm $5 million in debt. Like, I'm tired of living this lie. I'm tired of the person that I was becoming. I wasn't happy. I haven't been happy for a long time, but I've been putting on this facade like everything's great and everything's perfect. And look at me, I drive a Lambo and my life's amazing. And it's all a lie. It's all fake. Like, I fucking hate it. Like, it's that's what it's gotten to. It's hard for someone like me to admit failure, to admit defeat, to admit that I'm an alcoholic, or I have a drug problem, or I have a gambling problem, or I have a spending problem, or I've wasted money on cocaine and hookers and nights out in Vegas and just dumb shit, living this fake lifestyle. This is worse than sitting in a prison cell, which is where, I may end up. I don't know.
This is a very, very bizarre story at the end of the day, but might as well just take it from the top and show you guys what I think about this situation.
I need it for the jewelry show anyway tomorrow. I'm gonna watch the diamond dealer.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason we have an absurd amount of cash.
Oh, right on.
I think you have followed a lot of the background of what has gone on with this, but I would say that my experience with Anthony Ferrer started off when he first came into the business in the very, very beginning and introduced himself. And quite frankly, he just seemed like a guy that was just trying to, penetrate the business and get into a new business, look like he wanted to turn his life around. He had this compelling story on how he had served time in jail, prison, whatever it is, and he wanted to turn his life around. Not gonna lie, initially it kind of sounded like somewhat compelling, and he kind of did seem like a straight shooter, which at the end of the day, he personally never did anything wrong to me in a direct financial transactional type of way, and I'll get further into that later. But I think the first situation that I had with Anthony was when he did his famous idiotic move, the most marketing genius fallout of all time, which was the
blackout.
The blackout.
The one that was proposed to as a charity event because people were spending too much time on social media. It doesn't make sense because you're one of your main sources of income is probably social media. But we'll get into it, like you said.
Yeah, that felt like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. At that moment, we were doing a cross-promotional campaign together because we were working on a project that never saw the light, but could have been actually very interesting for everybody to see. And, for whatever reason, I was kind of the first one to realize what was going on. And I actually thought that something was going on, whether he had gotten hacked or gotten in trouble or whatever. And then next thing you know, we kind of doing a live because with, me, Roman, and Nico, because we wanted to address, the public. I was just as confused as anybody else. I had no idea what was going on. I actually, like I said, thought something was wrong. Then it started to get weirder and weirder. And then I realized that I don't got time for this shit. This is not how I do my business. I got my own business to attend. And as it got weirder and weirder and no response from neither him or Marco, I kind of just decided to log off this bullshit because I got my own life I'm trying to run. And I got my own goals I'm trying to meet. And I don't do business like that. In the jewelry business, the most important thing you can show is that you're going to be there for the long run. And, pretty much I've dedicated 15 years of my life into this professionally. And I kind of been doing this my whole life. And I'm not going to let some guy that just came into the business all of a sudden tarnish my name. So I immediately got out of it and I signed off the live and I said, fuck this shit. Anthony, handle your business. The craziest part, which right there I would have never guessed, was that was the start to the most bizarre shit ever.
The beginning of the end.
As long as people have been screaming scam, con, Ponzi scheme, and I have a feeling that after this video airs, there's going to be a lot of silence.
TPG's their page and everything was taken down. Nothing made sense.
Yeah, I mean, the blackout was weird. It was, quite frankly, the most stupid thing I've ever seen in my entire life, but whatever. What's done is done. The problem is that from that point on, the trajectory of the timepiece gentleman just got stranger and stranger. It felt to me like it was just one bad move after another. But you want to know the reality of it? I don't give a fuck because I'm doing my own business and I'm not worried about whatever the fuck they're doing. That's their problem. They want to drive their business into the ground. That's their problem, not mine. I got my business and my clients to look after. I've only done one transactional business with the timepiece gentleman, and it was when they were in the very beginning, when they were with Marco. I sold them a sub. That's about it. As things got weirder and weirder, for example, after the blackout, there was no business done. Not because of anything, just because it never really lined up, and I didn't need to. I have already my own sources to get plenty of watches from. But what happened was that things got really weird, okay? I think we can all agree, if you're watching this and you followed this drama, that there was one YouTube video after another of strange, erratic behavior. I don't watch these things. I don't have time for this. I work all day, every day in watches. When I go home, I like to watch movies, things about cars. I like to fish. I like to do other things. I do watches all day, so I really don't watch other people's YouTube channel. No disrespect to anybody out there. I don't expect you guys to watch mine either. However, my peers, my video guy, my friends, they do watch it, and they tell me everything that's going on. And it's one ridiculous thing after another. If it wasn't the apartment or this or that or
$25,000 dinner.
Or the massage or whatever. Listen, it was just crazy, okay? The crazy part about it is that, as we know already, he has been arrested by the FBI for a $5 million Ponzi scheme, which for me, I was shocked and not shocked all at the same time. I'm trying to express that. I was shocked, but not shocked, okay? We saw a video where this man went on there and admitted that he had a drug problem, that he did this, that he did that, and listen, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. This is the way that I feel about it. you know, I don't ever want to see anything bad happen to anybody. I don't wish bad on anybody, not even my haters. It is what it is. You know, you do you. But I wasn't happy that he got arrested, but because I say that in general to all of you guys out there. I don't want to hear something like that about anybody. However, I did feel relieved. And the reason I felt relieved was because if this guy really did steal 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, 100,000, 50,000, whatever it is, he can't get away with it. It's not something that's good for our business where people out there feel that somebody can come in, fly-by-night dealer, you're here today, gone tomorrow, can steal from the public so blatantly and then just get away with it. I don't think that's right. I think that it was right that everybody had their moment. All the victims can have their justice, that he's at least been arrested and has to face what he did. He didn't deny it. He straight up admitted it. Well, he did. Okay. And if he's man enough to serve the time, then well be it. But the most important part to me was that if somebody does something like this in our business, there is going to be a penalty for it. You can't come into other people's business and cause this type of disruption. It's not right. Someone like me has been doing business forever correctly, and I would never do such a thing like that. How on earth do you get to that amount of money and not realize when you're in the hole, 100 grand, that maybe you shouldn't be going this trajectory that you're going, and that maybe you shouldn't be robbing people? How does it get to that amount and you don't realize it?
It's all about ego, mentality, ego. I think a big problem or a big reason that he kept going with it is because he felt as if he could overcome anything. And I will give that to him. The guy has a shit ton of dedication and self-belief. But like you said, there's a point that you have to turn around or look at yourself and realize that you're in a whole X amount of money. The trajectory that you're going is no way out. It's time to switch something up or do things right. In this business, man, it's all about your word. This guy came in overnight, like Eric said. He made a storm on social media, on YouTube. Everyone wanted to do business with him. Everyone thought that he was this cool guy because he was showing transparency in the business and this and that, which traditionally is pretty much a big no-no in this business.
Whoa, what is?
To tell everyone what you're doing, how you're doing it, your margins and everything that you're doing.
I mean, I wouldn't say in this business. I just wanted to clarify, because it sounded weird when you said that. I don't think that there's many people in any business out there showing everything.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I could understand some transparency because this isn't a secret society. We're just selling product here. It's no different than any other business, okay? I just think he wanted to use any edge possible to get that little bit of leverage so that he could get fame.
And I guess he was trying to gain the trust of people, but what he was really doing is gaining the trust so he can bend people over and fuck them.
Look, I want to believe, and you know, don't hate me for this because I'm just trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I want to believe that in the very beginning, he genuinely didn't have the plan for this to happen. I genuinely believe that and I want to believe that when he was working with Marco in the very beginning, they kind of had a business kind of going. Problem is, when you get a bunch of free money that's not your money, and you start turning a profit and you start living a certain lifestyle, and you don't know how to handle yourself, you just get lost in the sauce, and these are the things that happen.
Start believing your own lies.
And I don't understand how it becomes a crime and you end up hurting people. I don't agree with any of that. Like I said, I think what he did was wrong, and something like that has to be penalized.
If I were going to run off with, I would keep all the accounts running as normal, and I would disappear, not my entire team. I would not make it so f***ing obvious.
I'm like shaking. You scared? Not scared. Oh. 10,000 on black and it hit. So it's going to be a good start to Vegas. All right, guys. So earlier I played 60,000 on black and it hit. And I've been up and down a little bit, so now I'm feeling a little more aggressive. I've got 40 left, $5,000 chips. I'm about to go one more time, put it on black, and just see what happens. So follow me, here we go. No, Okay, here we go. Dropping it all over the place.
You know what I mean?
Don't be afraid to take risk. But only take risk if you can afford to lose.
People can't think that you can get away with something like that. Another thing I want to say is there are other Anthonys out there. They might not be on social media and they might not have a popular YouTube channel, but there are other guys out there that have come into this business in the last 3-4 years, you know, the Corona dealers, and there are going to be some out there that little by little are out there just to pull a giant fraud. So you got to be careful. You got to deal with people that are legit. I don't care how good the price is. I remember seeing Anthony's post because Keon showed it to me that he was offering 5% commission. 5% consignment fees. That didn't make any sense. How do you ship a watch halfway across the country, get it over here, insure it? Now that I shipped your $50,000 watch over, besides the fact that I paid for the label, now it's under my care, meaning if the watch gets lost or stolen in the shipping, or I'm responsible.
Yeah.
Then if the watch gets scratched, I got to warranty the watch when I sell it. I got to use my media machine to promote the watch and sell it. You have the fraud factor. What if they do fraud? All that just to make a 5%, it didn't make sense. At first, I thought he was crazy. At that moment, I thought, man, this guy's crazy. Now it makes sense. He said 5% because he wanted you to send the watch so you can eat it. You know, so anyways, I'm going to double down on my position. And the fact of the matter is that this is a sideshow. It's crazy. And it's the last thing we need in this business. I mean, it goes so far that even one of my best friends, his friend's little brother bought some of Anthony's furniture that they're evicting from his original apartment.
Wait. Run that back.
One of my best friend's little brother sends my friend an article saying, yo, you're not going to believe this. I just bought some furniture from a guy that got evicted, and he supposedly was in the watch business. And guess who I think it was? Anthony. It's like fucking guy comes out of the woodworks for everything.
Oh my God.
You know, it's unbelievable. You know, at the end of the day, I think it's very unfortunate for everybody out there that trusted him. There's people out there that trusted him that didn't know all the background stuff and just felt like he was a legit business. There's other people out there that got screwed over because there was somewhat of a greed factor involved there, because they invested in him and they wanted a return and they took the gamble. Don't take that wrong, if you understand what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. And that's the blow up that we have now. And I think that's everything I want to say about this topic. It's what we already know.
Before we switch and we go and switch gears, what do you think that backlash did to not only us, but as someone in the industry who actually has a profession, who sells and buys watches for a living, that solely does that?
That's a great question. Although Anthony never directly stole anything from me, I know many dealers that he burned and owes money to. And unfortunately, like I said, many victims out there that took him, that he took them for a major ride. Fortunately, he never took any money from me because we didn't do any business like that. However, the nuclear fallout from Anthony, of course, spread everywhere like on a high-speed fan. Okay, people were getting nervous. For me, it didn't affect me in the consignment part of the business because I don't necessarily base my business on consignments. There's a lot of guys out there that their whole business is based on consignment. Those guys took major hits. People were scared to send them watches. They're worried about, is the guy going to run out with their watches? We had a bunch of phone calls of people about to buy a watch or about to do this and say, oh, because, you know, of the Anthony situation and all that. So it definitely affected us. You know, we had people calling and asking about him. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to run my own business. Yeah. I'm worried about my own things. Now I got to have people calling me and asking me about D'Anthony? Like, that. Right?
Yeah, 100%. There was a point in time where we would get calls daily. People asking, oh, what do you think about this Anthony thing? I'm a little skeptical. There was actually a couple of leads or deals that I don't want to say that we lost, but they were definitely put on hold because people were skeptical about, look, at the end of the day, you're sending a wire to someone like us and you're expecting to get the watch received as described. There is some sort of gamble in that. But like he said, you should do your research and double down and make sure who you're doing business with is someone who is not a fly-by-night guy who will be here today and be gone tomorrow. It has a ripple effect no matter what you do. Or like he said, we had no business, or we did no transactions with Anthony. He bought a watch from us, that's it. But it definitely affected everyone across the board. And that's the worst part about it.
It's not fair. He's erratic and crazy. So again, never did anything, directly, but indirectly, unfortunately, we've had to deal with it, including having to do this video. Next fucking topic. So the Daytonas are finally out. I know it's crazy, right? Like all of a sudden change the topic. The Daytonas are finally out. I've had them in my hand, and a certain person told me today that he can't even see the difference. I don't know, brother. Open your goddamn eyes. But I get it. Personally, I think the new Daytonas are amazing, and I think the one that I like the most, of course, is going to be the new Platinum. Keon also has seen a couple of them in his hand as well, including the Oyster Flexes. What do you feel about them?
That's a tough one to unfold. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I am very happy with the way that they executed the insert on the dial with the ring around it.
The bezel.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The bezel with everything around it. I do love the biggest thing for me is gonna be that they slimmed down the markers on the dial. Everything falls into play. It's very aesthetic to the eye. It's very easy to read the time now. I know before a lot of people would say on the Panda they couldn't read the time on the watch.
That's strange.
Yeah.
You can read it perfect, in my opinion.
100%. I definitely think that they killed it with this one. You talked about it on one of your videos, how they made the sub dials on the Daytonas. They made the paint that grows into, I guess you would say the
inside of the sub dial is bigger, so there's more in the center.
Correct. The silver ring or whatever metal we're talking about or whatever dial we're talking about is going to be smaller. I think that little detail made the watch completely change. The ones on Oyster Flex, I'm still on the review on, but 100% the ones on bracelet, the platinum, stainless steel, the Panda, the black Daytona, I love them from head to toe. And if you ask me, get rid of the 116.
I mean, look, whoa, that's a bold statement. But anyways, I like them all. It doesn't matter to me. I personally like every Daytona that was ever made. I think one of the new releases that I don't like is I don't like the new Paul Newman variation. I feel that, I don't know, man, it kind of killed the essence of it because it no longer has, I should know this, by the way, there's a technical term for this, but the ripples that are in the center of the sub dials that almost looks like a record, like a vinyl record, doesn't have that texture anymore. Now they're smooth. So I don't know. It just kind of killed the essence of that Paul Newman variation dial. I would have just discontinued that and just come out maybe with like a yellow gold Panda version of it. That's what I would have kind of done. Just discontinue that and go another direction. But other than that, I think it's a win. Next thing I want to talk about is, what's this bullshit about that Rolex is not doing the Pepsi anymore because of the red ceramic?
They keep claiming that they're running out of materials to produce the Pepsi on the red ceramic. But if you ask me, it's bullshit because if you can keep pumping out meteorite dials, you damn sure got some materials for some ceramic and a Pepsi.
Yeah, I'm just telling you right now, you expect me to believe that a company like Rolex, okay, that can produce all sorts of ridiculousness, billions and billions of dollars of factories and this and that. They could probably put a damn space shuttle into orbit. Can't continue to make the red ceramic because they're having problems with the material to make the red ceramic. Like, I'm just not buying it. I'm sorry. I am 100% not buying it. I know that they had problems in the past with the white gold versions. You know, the actual
insert's too thin.
Yes, the insert is too thin and the cradle of the bezel is not strong enough. And when you go to pop it off, it would snap the insert. The stainless steel version cured that because it's a bit more stable and they didn't hollow out the metal part so much, making it thicker. I'm just not buying it. I don't know why everybody's saying this. That's what they keep saying. I've heard it from many sources. I know people have done videos about this topic alone. I'm just calling bullshit.
Yeah. And before you guys start asking, calling, and DMing, we don't know what's going to happen to the Pepsi and the price, but I would go ahead and say that the price would go up.
Unfortunately, the only thing that this news spells out to me is that we'll never get a stainless steel Coca-Cola
Yeah,
new version ceramic. My heart is broken, but they might be playing some funny trick on us. You know how these guys do.
What do you feel about the market? How do you feel that do you think prices are going up or going down? Do you think it's a buyer's market? Do you think it's a seller's market? How do you feel about things?
I mean, I'd say it's a buyer's market because the prices are kind of cheap compared to before. It's definitely not a seller's market, I tell you that much.
Damn right.
But I would say that the prices are flat. And, you know, it doesn't bother me. I think it's good. I think watches are at more of a realistic price. You know, the fact that everything was over retail and so ridiculous to me is like, I guess, you know, I'm in a business to provide people with the goods that they can't get themselves. And it's fine for me. I'm going to still make a living. I'm still going to, you know, sell you watches, and I'm going to get you watches you can't get. I think the market right now is in a place where it's, of course, you look at all the charts, you look at all of this, and they show you that, oh, it's here, and then it went down here. Same thing with the economy, okay? It was booming the other day because it just wasn't real, and then now it's down. But you mean it's going back to normal. And that's kind of what I feel about the watch market. I think that prices are still good. You know, I think that prices aren't bad. I think you can get some good deals. They're not overly inflated anymore. Of course, there's always going to be that watch that just came out that skyrockets right off the bat. Yeah. We're not talking about that. We're talking about overall. Yeah. You know, people call me, oh, you know, the watch market tanked. I'm like, I guess there's still pieces that are 3-4 times over retail, but I think tanked would be if the watch retail for 14 and you can't even get 8 now, and before they were at 70. I don't know, man. But I would say right now the watch market is flat. And for anybody that's complaining about that, I think then you guys are just in it for the wrong reasons, and you're just trying to, I don't know how to explain it, but you know, there's people out there that are like, oh, the watch market is dead. What is it? What's the term? The watch market is floating dead in a pool. Maybe for you. You know, and the dealer that you deal with on the first floor, but
majority of the comments, whenever you would do watch market updates, people would be in the comments praying, "Oh, I can't wait until you guys lose
listen,
all
man.
your money, bro." We do this because we enjoy watches. We love watches, and we love delivering pieces to these collectors.
You're right. But I don't do this for fun. I do this for a living. This is what I do.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anybody wants to wish that, that's their problem. I don't really care. I'm in it for the long haul. I've been here since when I would get you a brand new gold Rolex at 20% off with stickers and an open card. So we can go back to that. I don't care. It's all good. I know how to navigate these waters. But yeah, I would say the business right now, I mean, the market is pretty flat as far as prices. They just kind of been just stuck there for a little while.
At least for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, I used to come from an era, I've been doing this for quite some time, where the price of the Submariner, the price of the Day-Date was consistent the whole year. That was the price the whole year. Then maybe like next year they move. You know, these last couple years like a roller coaster. Prices more, prices less, prices whatever. But yeah, I would say right now it's pretty flat. And which if I was a buyer, it's kind of a good thing because you don't have to worry about buying something and it going down or you know or whatever, or it could go up and then go down. I mean, it's just kind of like a flat, even market. So I don't mind it.
To spin off of your response to the question, we always get questions about these watch charts and chrono and this and that. What would you advise or what would you tell these people out here who are trying to feel out the market, who don't know the market as well as us? How can they base themselves off of what they see on social media, like watch charts?
It's very simple. Watch charts and chrono 24, they're basing their data only off of what was sold, that they can read the data. There's not a single watch that I've sold, and I've sold thousands of watches, that they can record that data along with all the other people that do what I do. So yes, we can look at those things, and obviously there is a good amount of truth in the data. I'm not saying it's not, but you're not gathering all the data when you look at that. All right, so that's it for today. I wanted to actually talk a little bit about the market, about the new events on the Rolex, and obviously about the obvious unfortunate news that needs to be discussed. So feel free to comment below what you think about anything we might have talked about here, except for that first one. Just kidding. Say whatever you want. If you like this video, like and share it. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel.